All right. Hi, everyone. I think we're live. Let me know if we're live. Actually, I'll just check myself. I can't check myself because there's always a delay between going when I go live and you guys see me live. So I just have to. There we go. Actually, we're live. P is saying, "Good morning, Atheist Republic." Good morning, P. This is Chopin is saying, first question: how shocked were you when you took the picture in the thumbnail? I just thought that thumbnails all look like each other, so I should make it different every time. I might make a new face every time now. Susanna is here. Yay. Susanna is saying, hi, you're live. Audio is good. I got notification. Fantastic. All right. So, by the way, Susanna, I'm going to do a Patreon call after this on Skype. So, if you guys are an Atheist Republic patron and you're part of the Skype group, for patrons, you might get a call after this, so we could have a discussion on a patron meeting. So stay online for that. If you are a patron and you're not in the Skype group, please send me your Skype ID on Patreon so you could be added to the Skype group where we have our discussions. Yeah, and also, by the way, yesterday, somebody posted in the comment section of the video after the live stream was over because they keep complaining about people not getting notifications and stuff like that. Somebody said, why are you guys relying on YouTube? You should find different ways to reach out to people instead of just waiting for these, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and all, these companies waiting for their algorithm to. First of all, there's no way we could ever reach people as much outside of these platforms, right? First of all, right? So, as bad as they are, they have. I mean, they're not bad. As biased they are against people like us, we would have no audience without them. And second of all, we do have other ways to reach out to people, and that's our newsletter. So, and the link to our newsletter is in the description. So, subscribe to our newsletter. That's a direct, nobody in between us and you, no algorithms. That's just us coming right at your inbox. So, if you want to make sure you get some of our videos at least, subscribe to our newsletter. And there's some other stuff that we send you as well. AKL saying, "Oh wow, it says it started 1 minute ago." Yeah, so apparently now, so if I go live without announcing people, YouTube just waits 12 hours, and then after 12 hours, like, hey, by the way, there's a live stream. And then people check like that was 12 hours ago. So I don't know why they do that. So apparently, if I plan it ahead of time, more people are going to get notification. And I didn't want to plan these ahead of time so that I could make more content. So there's less planning means more content, right? But now I'm going to try to plan it ahead of time so you guys actually get the notifications. Okay. Ronnie is saying, I got the notification stream yesterday, 12 hours late. Yeah. Eighth Republic, random question. What is the longest you've ever grown out your hair? Just recently, not right now. Like about, I don't know, it was like up to here. But both my wife and my sister-in-law told me it doesn't look good, so I went and cut it. Right now, I want to cut it again, but there's nowhere is open. Fanny is here. Hi, Fanny. Guys, everybody go check Fanny's channel. She makes great content. She's from Brazil. She's Canadian, Brazilian, atheist in Brazil. So again, I know Fanny. One day I'm gonna reach out and we're gonna make a Portuguese Atheist Republic. I know I keep saying that, and so many things come up, but I promise it will happen. It will happen. What's your opinion on Rodrigo Duterte? I have a policy of don't shit where you eat. So I'm currently in the Philippines. So don't ask me about what I think about Duterte. All right. So Chris is saying, is Armin buffering? No, you're buffering. Everything. I have my phone here to check if everything is fine, and I can see that everything is fine and nothing is buffering. Biddy saying, hello, Armin. Hi. Dampa saying, hello, fellow humans. And AI, in case there's any AI watching. No, it's moved upon. Yep, it is. Questions, guys. Send me questions. Guys, did you see that Iran and United States are now back at it again? I think most people are not noticing it because of all the corona news. But Iran started, you know, intimidating United States ships in the Persian Gulf. So that's happening. They had like about 11 boats going out around some U.S. ships and trying to intimidate them. It's weird. I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, they must have a reason. They don't do that randomly. Are they trying to start another? I think every time there's a struggle in the United States, the hardliners' popularity go up. And right now, with all the mess with the corona and people hating the government, they might want a little bit of that. So that's why they're trying to poke at the United States so that the United States pokes back. So maybe that's going on. I don't know. But nobody's paying attention to that because that's not, I mean, not nobody. I pay attention. Like some people are covering it. But the whole corona stuff is making people not notice news like that. Also, guys, did you see that? Like now, the whole idea, the whole conspiracy. YouTube, please, YouTube gods. This is not my views. I'm just telling people, YouTube gods. I'm just telling people what other people are saying. Please don't strike me down. Please don't strike down this channel. Okay. So the whole idea that the virus was built in a lab rather than happening naturally used to just be like now is being said by people like the president of the United States. So that's weird. I don't know where that's going to go. News organization, big giant news organizations are now covering it as if it's a serious thing. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it seems very unlikely. I mean, I don't know, right? But it just seemed like, I mean, the president, obviously, that doesn't give it any credibility when the Trump says it. But a lot of like big news organizations are covering it. But I mean, that the fact that they're covering it doesn't give it legitimacy because they're covering the fact that Trump is covering it now. So I don't know what to think. But again, even if 1 in a million chance something like this is real, don't make if not this one. If conspiracy theory, the people that believe in all sorts of conspiracy theories, if one of their ideas all of a sudden became true, don't give them credibility for that because just by chance, if you just believe in a million crazy shit, one of them is going to randomly be true, right? That doesn't mean they're right. They just believe in everything. Okay, I'm not saying this is going to be the one. Okay, this is probably not the one. I still don't think this is like just very, very unlikely. But just in general, if one of the conspiracy theories that people without evidence believe in things, if just one of them happen to become true, you shouldn't be surprised. You should be surprised if none of them come true, because they're believing so many things. If none of them come true, it seems like the purpose, like how is that possible? Like even if it's completely random, some of them, even if you just throw a random generator of conspiracy theories, just by chance, one of them is going to end up being true. But I'm not saying this is the one, okay? Yes, okay. Fanny's saying no hurries. Let's do Atheist Republic Brazil. Yeah, the reason why I haven't moved with Atheist Republic Brazil and also the Portuguese channel and also the Urdu channel is because we're losing donors because of the whole coronavirus stuff. So right now we're just struggling to keep Atheist Republic and Secular Jihadists alive. So it doesn't seem like a good idea right now to expand to do more projects. But as soon as we recover, we're going to expand to do more projects. By the way, if you haven't been hit economically in any way financially because of the corona stuff, consider being a Patreon. Link is in the description. But do not support us financially if you're struggling in any way. Do not support us. Like, what are you even thinking? Okay, do not support us financially if you're struggling financially. But if you're not struggling financially, consider like becoming a $1 patron. Link in the description. Let me see what else is there. If religion, I don't know how to. Mihail, I don't know, but I tried. If religion is in your opinion, require supernatural? Are Confucianism and Taoism not religions? Yes, they are religions. By the way, not Taoism. I keep saying Taoism because why do they put a T there when there's no T sounds? It's so stupid. Taoism. Yes. So yeah, they have supernatural elements in them. Okay, there's two things that makes something a religion. And again, this is not my views. I took one of the courses on world religions. This was I forgot the professor's name, but these was his criteria, and ever since it was so simple, and I'm always going by that criteria. I'm not saying this is the right criteria. I just like people could have different definition for what makes it religion. I thought that this guy is credible, and it was a very simple two-factor. It was just two tests for something to become a religion or not, and it made sense to me, right? It has to have supernatural belief and rituals. Supernatural belief and rituals. If you have those two things, you are religion. People are like, oh, communism is like a religion. No, it's dogma. It doesn't have supernatural belief, so it's not a religion. Okay? MashaAllah. Masha Iblis. Back with YouTube gods again. Welcome to YouTube Islam. Masha YouTube. Allah Armin going CS. Yes. I'm CS because I believe in the YouTube gods, unfortunately. Those are the only gods I believe in. They're angry gods. They have no mercy. Marcus is saying, dear Armin, I'm running into this repeat issue when arguing with theists. They will claim that my morality, my intellectual capacity, and nature is unable to function without a divinity. What do you do? Okay, here's a technique you could use for almost any dumb claim like that. And you could just do that because that's a claim. That's not there's no argument behind it. They're making a claim and then they're waiting for you to respond. And you have to be like, okay, where's your argument? Right? You made a claim, they make a claim and they wait for you to respond as if they already made an argument. Just mentioning the claim is not an argument. Okay? Okay, so that's what you believe in. Now go make an argument for it. It's not my turn yet. It's still your turn. I know what you believe in. Provide an argument for why do you believe that. It's not why are you waiting for me? You haven't defended your position yet. So that's what I just say, throw it back at them and say, okay, that's what you believe in. Why do you believe that? Because what you just stated here, it's just a full-on claim. Have you met Imam Tawhidi, Imam of Peace? What do you think about him? Yeah, I have had meet in person? No, but yeah, what am I talking about? Of course, I met him in New York. It was actually a very fun night. I disagree with him on a lot, but he's a fun guy to hang out with. We discussed some very interesting things in private that I'm not allowed to mention, but it was fun. But I disagree with him a lot on many things. And I think he's using a very interesting tactic on spreading Shia Islam, which is, I think it's dangerous, but he has good intentions, I think. I disagree with him significantly on many, many things. And he probably disagrees with me on many things significantly. But that doesn't mean we can't get along with people that we have significant different disagreements with. I know a lot of people accuse him of not being honest. I don't know if people are being honest or not being honest. I just take them. I try to take the most charitable view on people's intentions, unless they really prove otherwise. And I don't care if they prove otherwise. I don't care if somebody actually manages to prove to me that they're not good people. I just deal with their arguments. If they're good people, I'll consider them my friends. And if they're not good people, I don't consider them friends. That's a separate thing when it comes to when people say, what do you think about this person, right? Or this person X or person B? They're mixing, I think, two different things together. Personally, how you feel about somebody or whether if they're good people or bad people is completely separate from whether they're arguments or whether they're making good points or not, right? Some of the people that I have significant disagreements with are personally really good people, and I enjoy hanging out with them, and they're very kind, they're very nice. And some of the people that I agree with 90% of the things that they're saying, they're just assholes. And those two things, I think a lot of people let their personal views on people influence their view on the points that they're making. You have to try to keep those two separate. So I was saying, hi Armin, how are you? What do you think of Trump's decision to suspend funding to WHO? I think it's ridiculous. I mean, of course, like this is one of the major organizations on the planet we have against disease. If not, and then you're defunding them. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, it's even PR wise, that looks incredibly stupid. Like, even if you're just looking at, like, you're giving ammunition to people that hate you. Like, we have coronavirus spreading around the world, and you're like, hey, let's defund the WHO, like our major force that we have against disease. Let's defund them right now. A lot of people are criticizing WHO because they believe China, and China was not being honest with their numbers, and WHO just went with their numbers. WHO doesn't have any choice. They don't have their own, like, they don't have enough resources to go get their own numbers, okay? They have to work with what they get from governments. They also trusted other countries that gave their numbers. Like, I mean, they don't have enough team and people to go and do testing in every goddamn country, especially a country as big as China. What are you supposed to do? Like, they just ask the governments to give them the numbers, and they work with the data that they have. If you think that's not good, then give them more funding so they could go to China and do their own research. I mean, to be fair, China did let WHO in and for them to do whatever they want. But again, they don't have enough resources to go do the testing. They don't have government enough. I mean, even if you fund them 10 times as much as they have funding right now, they're not going to have the resources that governments have to go figure out these numbers and stuff like that. So they still have to rely on governments. Anyways, does that make sense? The thing is that what WHO doesn't realize is that if you don't say nice things about Trump, you're gonna get screwed by Trump. Okay, if you side with China against Trump, you're gonna get screwed. You have to, yeah. You should have had some conferences and saying like how amazing, Trump is, and he's doing such a great job, just to make sure your funding doesn't go away, or else that's the main thing he cares about. So what is this? Okay, SB Havoc is saying, how should I respond in an argument with a CS when they claim that there are people who are born with memories of people who died? Simple, prove it. That's all you need to say. Prove it. Like, I don't know, you could also be like, oh, respond. If they don't want to prove it, you should come up with your own random claim. You say like, there are people who are born with unicorns in their butthole. Just counterclaim. I don't know. I mean, that's a claim. How are you going to respond to a claim? They haven't proved. Is that all they saying? Or do you have an argument for it? Do you have evidence for it? Just say prove it. Like, how do you know? Just ask us, how do you know? Just, okay, if you don't say prove it, because a lot of people like, oh, what do you mean proof? Like, what is considered proof or not, right? So, and they want to get all technical with you. Don't say prove it. Say something else. Say, how do you know? Make it even more simple. And if they come up with another claim just to back up their original claim and pretending that the new claim is evidence for their original claim, then again say for the new claim that they came up with to back up their original claim, then ask them about that new claim. How do you know that? Oh my God, Fanny, are you sure? Oh no. Okay. Fanny saying, what do you think of reforming Islam? Oh my god. Oh, I'm triggered. uh, oh god. Okay, should I keep it short or long? I'm against it. How about that? The shortest. Reforming Islam is the worst idea possible. Is worse. Is okay. There's two answers. One, it's a bad idea. Second of all, Islam has already been reformed. It's called Wahhabism. Dave is saying hi, Armin. Hi, Dave. Wait, where is it? An amateur astrophotography is saying, shouldn't it be illegal for the religious to vote? No! What? No. Do you actually believe that, or are you just wanting to trigger me? No, it should not be legal for the religious to vote. Why would you think it should be? Why do you think it should be illegal for anybody to vote based on the views that they have? If you want to work with religious, like what? I mean, if you want to ban people for voting for believing things that are wrong, technically nobody can vote, because I'm pretty sure I believe in some things that are not true. Again, I don't know what I believe in that is not true, because if I knew what it were, I would stop believing in them, right? But we all believe in things that are not true, and if that's your standard, then nobody can vote. AK is saying Trump needs to his ego catered. Yes, that's the only thing he needs, honestly. No, I'm exaggerating. I'm not serious. Let me see. Oh, Vikram is here. Hi, Vikram. What are some of future events you are planning on having this year? No, this year I have no idea. Everything has been canceled, except maybe a trip to India with somebody special, which I'm not going to tell you guys. But everything has been canceled this year, and we're not making any plans because we don't know how long this is going to last. Yeah, Soha is saying that's discrimination. I agree with Soha. AR is saying, I hate to defend the religion, but where there always a possibility. Wait, it went up too late. Possibility for positive change and reform in Islam. We have some relatively progressive group like Ismailis and Ahmadis. Okay, then you don't understand what I'm saying at all, because oh my god, this is gonna start a can of worms. I don't know if it's gonna how it's gonna stop. I'm gonna try to keep it short. I never said there's no possibility for positive change. That's not what I'm saying. Like, do you guys tell me saying that? Show me where I said like, oh, Muslims are not going to be able to change positively, okay, in a positive direction. Okay, Muslims reform all the time. Muslims reform positively all the time. Islam shouldn't be reformed. Okay, I'm not even saying it can't be reformed. It shouldn't be reformed. Okay, the positive changes that you see in Muslims is not because of reforming Islam. It's because of challenging Islam. Okay. Another thing is that when you see positive changes in Muslim communities, if you actually look what the Quran stands for and what the Hadith stands for, the positive changes is not because of reforming Islam. It's because of moving farther and farther away from what Islam actually stands for. Okay, so it's an abandonment of Islam. Even if they don't abandon it so fully that they could call themselves ex-Muslims, it's an abandonment is not a binary thing. Okay, most Muslims, first of all, most progressive groups of Muslims, they don't even know what they have never read the Quran, they have never read the Hadith, they don't know, if you could make up an ayah and they would believe you if you tell them it's in the Quran, and you could read them ayah in the Quran and tell them Hitler said that, and they would believe you, and they were like, oh my god, that's horrible, even though they believe in the Quran and it's an ayah in the Quran. I'm telling you, most Muslims have never read the Quran, and it's not fair to give credit to Islamic reform for Muslims living progressive lives because they're people better that are genuinely better than what Islam stands for. Islam doesn't deserve any credit for it. Every time, even in Christianity, when you see Christians living better lives than Christianity, it was because they took Christianity less seriously. Okay? The reform came after, not before. Okay? So you have people who are challenging religion, attacking religion, and people who are either abandoning religion, either completely or somewhat, either because the activism that there are people doing against religion, or because economic growth and prosperity makes people focus on other things rather than the religion, right? It's not just activism, it's other things as well. And when people are abandoning their religion, either, I'm not saying abandoning outright, like some people, like when people, so when you say some reformist is not somebody that is abandoning their religion. A reformist is somebody that is looking at the Quran and like, okay, this verse that is saying beat your wife if she's disobedient, I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna be like, okay, this means tickle your wife. It doesn't mean beat your wife. I'm gonna just read it differently. Okay, that's a reformist. But the person that is still Muslim and is not reading the Quran, not following Sunnah, they have abandoned the religion, even though they have kept their label Muslim on, right? They're not, I don't consider them a reformist. I don't consider them reformists. They're abandoning Islam, okay? Not completely like somebody like me, but somewhat. That's an abandonment of Islam, okay? The thing is that because of those two factors, either prosperity or because of activism, look at the Enlightenment movement. Again, Christians become more mellow because of the Enlightenment movement, not because of the Reformation, right? When that happens, then the religious leader come in and they try to look like, oh my God, look at these Christians living non-Christian lives, or these Muslims living non-Muslim lives, and they try to change what Islam stands for, what Christianity stands for, to be like, look, what the lives that you're living is already Islamic. So good job, you guys are still part of our, they're trying to make Islam or Christianity survive. So they're trying to redefine Christianity and Islam. The thing is that those people that are living lives better than Christianity and Islam live those lives not because of those reformists, right? The reformists came after. And what the reformists do when they come after is they're helping Islam and Christianity survive. If the reformists didn't come after, it wouldn't have made those people go back to fundamentalism or something like that. Okay? So the reformists are not achieving anything other than making dogma and superstition last longer. They're coming up with an excuse to keep these ideas alive, and the keeping these ideas alive longer encourages more return to fundamentalism. There, if a Muslims that are not beating their wives, they're not beating their wives because they're reading the Quranic verse and be like, okay, this doesn't mean beat your wife. They're not beating their wives because they don't want to beat their wives. The Muslims that are not taking slaves right now, they're not saying like they're not taking slaves, they're not beating their slaves because they're like, because slavery, these verses that's saying, oh, you could take slaves in wars and stuff like that, they mean something. They're not reading it and we're like, come up with a different interpretation. They're like, they just think slavery is wrong. That's why they're not taking slave. It's very interesting because a lot of people think like, I'm so anti-Muslim that I believe Islam can be reformed. I'm actually showing you that I believe in Muslims' genuine kindness and sympathy and humanity more than most people that believe in Islamic reform, because I'm saying it's not because of Islam that they're good people. It's because they're just good people. Okay? It has nothing to do with Islam. I have very little doubt that if you go, all the Muslims in the world, okay, if you go and actually try to do the best to show them that this Quranic verse means that not only that you can beat your wife, that you should beat your wife, they're not going to beat their wives. Okay? So why do I have to keep insisting that the Quran and Islam is good and okay if it's not going to achieve anything that, it's not going to achieve what it's not going to achieve. The Muslims that are good people, they're already good people. You're not going to win anybody over with Islamic reform, especially because the arguments for Islamic reform is ridiculous. They're ridiculous. So all you're doing is making an ideology that does eventually produce some fundamentalists, because when you keep it around and you give it you're counting all the Muslims that are not taking Islam seriously, you're counting them as Muslims, and you're giving authority and legitimacy to an ideology that is now global. And a small percentage of these people are going to be like, well, let's go read what the text actually says, if this is like the word of God. And a small percentage of a huge big number is going to be a big problem. Anyways, I'm going to stop ranting. I have said this many times. Where is this? Why is it not letting me select? It's not letting me select an. Okay, I'm just going to read it. It's not. Oh, there we go. Matt is saying, what can you say about Christian reform, Hinduism reform, Jewish reform compared to Islamic reform? It's all bullshit, okay? You don't believe in things that are not true. If you wanted to, here's the thing. Let's say somebody thinks 2 + 2 is 6. Okay? And now you try to reform this nonsense, and you're like, hey, I managed to convince them that 2 + 2 is 5. Is that progress? No, it's not. It's still not true. Like, how could you get that conclusion? It's not closer, so it's better. It's still wrong. The thinking, it's not like, oh, let me just get the conclusion closer to reality. The process, you have to fix the process. You have to fix the process. How did you manage the fact if somebody's still getting 2 + 2 is 5? It's still as bad as 2 + 2 is 6, because your entire thinking process and how adding numbers work is flawed. You're reforming bullshit. You're just making people believe from a different nonsense to another nonsense. Just because the conclusion is closer to what you enjoyed, you haven't fixed the methodology. The methodology is more important than the conclusion. You have to fix people's methodology on how they come up with conclusion. If people believe in nonsense that is now closer to what you enjoy, you haven't fixed much. If people believe that you should be kind to people because it says so on, I don't know, on a golden tablet on the bottom of the sea, okay, somewhere. I just came up with a random idea. Like, that's why we are kind to people. Or that's why we should work hard. I don't know. That's why we should exercise. Good, here. We should exercise because it says so on a golden tablet at the bottom of the sea. You're like, what's the problem? Exercise is good, so let's encourage that. Well, tomorrow, if I could convince them of that, I could convince them tomorrow that it says on a silver tablet at the top of a mountain that they should behead everybody that is not exercising. I can convince them of that. If you could convince them of this, I could convince them of that. You have to fix the methodology, not the conclusions. And, if you, with the right methodology, you sometimes get the wrong answer, but more often you get the answers that are closer to reality. With the bad methodology, sometimes you get good answers, but more often you get answers that are farther away from reality. And though sometimes that you get good answers, people are like, oh, look, this methodology could work sometimes. No, it doesn't work. On average, flawed methodologies don't work. You have to go, instead of focusing on what the conclusion is, look if the methodology works or not, on average. Does that make sense? AR is saying, so why should we fixate on dogmatism within even progressive Islam when the benefit of reform is so great? Okay, I'm hoping that you posted this before I explained everything, because if you did post it after I explained everything, then you weren't listening. So then I'm saying, but I think you did before. Okay. Did you get my super chat? What? No, I didn't. Where is it? Is it from before? Apparently, if it's from before, you can't scroll up. I didn't get the super chat. Can you post it? Can you don't do another super chat? But tell me what you said. Sorry, I didn't see it. Thank you, Susanna. That's very sweet. You're too kind. BD saying a good rant. Armin fired up now. Yes, I get too fired up. I'm exhausted now because of this whole reform discussion. Let's move on to something else. Oh, really? My arguments are overly simplistic. Sure. Completely impractical. We all would prefer a reformed religion over no change at all. No, but you haven't been paying attention to anything I've said. Okay. What do you mean I prefer no religion? I explained to you exactly that I understand that you're not going to get people that are completely abandoning religion. I told you about people that are still religious but are not taking their religions very seriously. I hope you posted this after I explain everything, because if you don't, then I don't know what else to tell you, because you're ignoring everything I'm saying. Subham is saying Hinduism has been reformed in the past and it got us here. A bunch of Hindus took ideas from Nazism and formed the Indian government and enforcing even worse things. It could go either way. The point is that we stand for truth. We fight against things that I'm against palm reading. Okay? Here's the thing. People who believe palm reading that works, you feel like, okay, well, palm reading doesn't hurt anybody. How many people have waged war because of palm reading? I mean, I don't know anybody. I mean, there is actually some example, but not very often, right? Palm reading doesn't lead to people doing suicide bombing or theocracies based on palm reading. There's no holy wars based on palm reading. But so it's fine. It's harmless. So why should we even fight against it? Because it's bullshit. That's why. Okay? And if you believe in palm reading, if you believe in harmless nonsense without evidence, you can also believe in harmful nonsense without evidence. If you're somebody that is gullible enough to believe in harmless nonsense, you don't have the filter for the harmful nonsense to also be believable. And the problem is gullible people sometimes believe in things that ends up making them do things that they wouldn't have done if they were acting in their own best interest and the best interest of other people. If people have flawed reasoning, you don't wait for their flawed reasoning to end up being harmful. You attack the flawed reasoning before it becomes harmful. If you don't give people the logic filter, and then if you open that gate and be like, forget that filter, once they're past that filter, you don't have any other filters. Like where they land, whether they're going to be doing good, believe in harmless nonsense or harmful nonsense, you don't have any control where they're going to land after that. You lost your opportunity. Your opportunity was at the point of giving them critical thinking skills to detect bullshit. You lost them now. So I was saying, also people nowadays don't have slaves because it's against human rights. Religions are against human rights. In fact, religions. Yeah, well, but the thing is that people are now, in general, more sympathetic because of the Enlightenment movement and all that. But that's history. Yeah. Anyways, an amateur I don't know how your name is. AAA is saying India is terribly discriminatory and racist country. Yes, one of the most racist countries in the world. They literally have a market for skin whitening products. I don't think that's racist. It's a shame, a product of British. No, I don't think that's. I mean, I agree that India is one of the most racist countries in the world, but I don't believe that skin whitening is racist. If skin whitening is racist, then is tanning, when lighter skin people, when they go get a tan to get darker, is that racist? I don't think if you like your skin to be a different color and you can do it, do it. I don't care. That's not racist at all. yeah. All right, let me see. Okay. Did I go? Oh wow, it's been 40 minutes. See, when you guys talk about reform, I lose track of time. This was supposed to be Okay, I'm gonna do one last question by Sopam, and after that, I'm gonna call our patrons on Skype. So if you're a patron, wait for that call. And also, before I answer this question, like and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe. No, I forgot to say. This is what Susanna says. Slap the like and subscribe button like it's Quran 434. All the buttons under the video, just go crazy on them. Don't even think which one do you click. If you see a button under this video, like, unlike, subscribe, notification, just hit them all. Hit them all and then comment. It really does help our channel. So I'm saying the racism in the skin whitening product is not the products, but the way the advertising of the skin whitening products. I've seen those are horribly racist. Okay, I've seen a lot of ads on skin whitening products that are racist. But wanting your skin to be whiter or darker or more bronzish, orange, purple, green, blue, be purple. It's 2020. You can be whatever you want. Be purple. Matt is saying, "What do you?" I said one more. One that was the last question. Okay, I'm quitting here because I actually don't have a view on the question that Matt is asking, so I don't know what to say. So, actually, I do have a view. Next video, I will discuss that, but not anymore because it's been already 41 minutes, and I have to call the Skype group, our Patreon group. If you're not a patron, become a patron. If you can, if you're okay financially, everything is working out for you, and you're not struggling, support us and join our Skype discussions, one face to face. Those are fun. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys. Hold on, let me see if there's anything. Yeah, I've seen that, Matt, as well. Anyways, love you guys, and like and subscribe and share and comment and all of that. Dislike if you don't like the video. Bye.